Alright guys, welcome back. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. If you like, please press the like button, subscribe, and share please. This article is about Joe Biden. Since Joe was in the news, he's running. It's about a week old, but I haven't heard this mentioned anywhere else, so I thought I'd make a YouTube broadcast about it. Apparently, Joe had been involved in some lynchings, he and his son, Bo. This story comes from the Gateway Pundit, dated April 22nd, 2019. Joe Biden ignored several alleged lynchings in Delaware during his Obama years, but claims he supports the black community. There's Joe and his son, Bo. During the late Right, Bo is no longer alive. That's right. During the late Bo Biden's time as Attorney General and his father as Vice President, both Biden failed to properly investigate a series of lynchings in Dover, Delaware. How many of us do this? I know I didn't. I didn't hear this until I read this article. According to the reports from the Denver Post and the Red State from 2012 and 2013, residents of the capital City felt ignored by the community leaders and elected officials following the lynchings of two African American residents. The lynchings were accompanied by racist leaflets distributed after the first lynching in 2010, claiming that someone or a group of people would be cleansing up the streets, one N-word at a time. A third man was violently assaulted in December 2012, following the October 2011 lynching of a young African-American male and star athlete who was attending Wellesley College. Charles Conley, just 19 years of age, was found hanging from a tree from two belts linked together. Police classified it as a suicide, claiming a suicide note existed, a claim that local activists and political leaders found to be unsubstantiated. In the 2012 lynching attempt, another African-American male was attacked by several men who attempted to cut off his ears and penis. The victim, Henry Fordham, claimed that two men bragged about lynching Johnny Clark in 2010 and promised to do the same to him. Community meetings, and outcry did little to motivate any action from the state's Attorney General, Bo Biden, or his powerful father, Joe Biden, who was serving as the Vice President of the United States under Barack Obama. Both Bidens regularly claim to care about people of color and frequently request endorsement and support from powerful African American church leaders and organizations. Listen to that, because you won't hear any of them saying anything about this. These people are Democrats first, and black people second. As long as we understand that, we'll know how to handle these people. These people will not come to our defense if it's a Democrat doing it, like Biden. If Biden was a Republican, they'd been all over this. However, the lynchings were all swept under the rug and labeled suicides. The third attempted lynching on Henry Fordham was soon forgotten after the law enforcement claimed the statement could not be substantiated despite substantial physical evidence of the attack. From an article in the Denver Post, in sharing comments made by local residents who was unhappy with the lack of attention to city officials and political leaders in Delaware. Okay. Here's part of that article, talking about the flyers. The flyer says, "Cleaning up the streets of Dover, one N-word at a time," Alston said, holding up the leaflet before council during his Monday night meeting, and it contains an image of black people hanging from a tree next to a Nazi symbol. Aston said he suspected the city had conducted a cover of what he described as lynching of Johnny Clark, who was black, in Silver Lake Park on May the 12th. According to the official city line, he committed suicide. Okay, that was from the Denver Post. This is from the Red State, another newspaper out of Delaware at the time. And this is what they commented and said. Would it be because of political pressure from above, the Delaware Attorney General's office, Bo Biden? Could it be that the two lynchings and attempted lynching could cause political maelstrom and hurt the elections of a certain individual? This is all covered up for political reasons. This kind of reminds me of the incident that's going on in Virginia with Governor Northam, where these blacks are all of a sudden sitting on their hands when they got these obviously racist people. We have to realize that black Democrats will not protect us. We have to learn to protect ourselves. With Joe Biden set to announce his candidacy for President of the United States in Charlottesville, Virginia, to race bait and foment a fear of Donald Trump among the African American community, we should remind ourselves that he did nothing about these lynchings in his home state less than a decade ago. He was VP to America's first African American president, yet he did nothing to bring attention to these series of very heinous crimes. His son actively ignored them, and at worst buried the investigation to the lynchings of Vaude Press in the election year. Aside from the documented history of Joe Biden molesting women and children alike, unwanted touching, groping, kissing, the forgotten lynchings of several African American men in Delaware might be one of the biggest problems as a candidate in 2020. We got to keep this before everybody, people. We cannot let this go silent. We cannot let this man run without answering these questions. And we cannot let our black leaders help cover this up. I will post a link to all the articles. Let's get the word out. Here's the Red State article. In Delaware, they lynch Negroes. This is 2013, so this is not 1813. This is just very recent history. And here's the other link to the article. This will be linked at the end of the video.